What's going on, guys? So you're getting a sneak peek at an installation that'll occur in the very near future, and that is this TOSOT air conditioning system. This is a 15,000 BTU rooftop air conditioning. This is a non-ducted version, which a lot of the newer ACs you're seeing now are giving you that non-ducted option where all the controls are essentially on the interior panel or the indoor unit. And this is going to give you a lot of what you've been looking for and then some. Let's talk about it. Hang tight. I'll be right back. Okay, so I believe this is pronounced TOSOT. They actually reached out to me, and it's probably because I've been doing a lot of RV AC content recently. I've installed several different brands, including the new chill unit from Furrion. But one thing that stands out about this unit, actually a couple things, is the fact that it is incredibly low profile, which is really nice. It probably only sticks up maybe less than a foot, which again is really nice. And it has a heat pump built into it. So not only are these systems supposedly insanely quiet, and I have done some research and I've been watching videos of folks who have installed these before, but it also has a heat pump in it, which I think a lot of people have been asking for. Now I know that there are versions of other AC units that will have a heat pump as well. So let's talk about it a little bit. First, it's going to be a 15,000 BTU cooling air conditioner with a 12,000 BTU heat capacity through the heat pump that's built into it. It's really designed for larger RVs up to about 650 square feet. They say that it only operates at 43 decibels. They say it's 32% quieter than competing air conditioning units. And this is going to be interesting to test out, especially considering that other manufacturers have been producing some really cool air conditioning units as well. I love the fact that this does have the heat pump built into it though, and I'm really interested in checking the sound level of this thing once everything is connected and it's in place. Now, what is also nice about this is that they have an optional soft start system as well. We have that kit. I don't know if I will need it, but we will probably go ahead and put it in since the unit's not on the roof yet. So once we install the soft start kit and we get this thing on the roof and test it, that'll be the real test on if this is going to perform to the level that they claim. Now, it's a black unit, and we have two RVs. One RV has black units and the other RV has white units. I'm tempted to replace the front Furrion unit on our Surveyor, which is the standard Furrion unit, with this one because, again, this has the heat pump built into it. But I'm also considering replacing one of the two Coleman units that we have on top of the Brookstone with this, because this has a heat pump, which is going to be really nice, and we could either replace the kitchen unit or the front bedroom unit. We recently put a Furrion Chill Cube unit in the back, so that's going to stay in place, but because this has a heat pump inside of it, it could work out really well in the kitchen area, which is kind of central to the RV. The challenge we have there is that we would be replacing a ducted unit with a non-ducted unit, which I'm not too concerned about if you think about it, because the amount of airflow we get directly firing off of the Chill Cube and this should actually give us what we're looking for in terms of cooling capability or heating capability through the RV, except for maybe the mid-bunk. So I'm still having to do some planning to figure out where exactly this unit will go. We might, again, just go ahead and put it on the Surveyor, but I'm also considering putting this really probably in the front bedroom on the Brookstone, simply because I can close off that ducting. It would allow the two rear ACs to duct into the body of the RV better, and it would actually probably allow more airflow to go into the mid-bunk space by doing it that way, and then this one would only feed the master bedroom, which actually sounds like a better and better idea the more I think about it. So we'll probably throw this in the front of the Brookstone and replace one of the Coleman ACs that we currently have on the roof. And I like the fact that this is going to have its own thermostat in your hand. It's a remote control versus needing to go through the thermostat on the wall, which means we can make changes from the bedroom and not have to get up and go in the hallway to make any of the changes we want to make. So we have some things we still have to hash out in terms of where this is going to go. But a big shout out to the folks over at TOSOT for providing this unit for review and evaluation. They are a manufacturer of all different types of air conditioning systems, and what they're usually known for are their mini split systems. So they're a big player in the game, even though you may not be too familiar with them specifically for RVs. But again, they have been making mini split systems for a long time, and they've always had really good feedback and reviews on their product. Okay, so like we said, we're not going to actually be installing it today, but I took the main part of the box off And they give you some good specifications right here on it. So cooling capacity is 15,000 BTU as mentioned. Heating capacity 12,000. Supply 115 volt AC. What we are going to do today though is install the soft start. Since the unit is not currently sitting on the RV, I figure it's a lot more convenient. And hopefully the instructions are in the box, because I've never installed a soft start kit on this type of AC or this brand of AC. And we're going to do this together. So let's get the camera mounted and proceed. So the first thing we're going to do is tear into the box. This is model number S15 Plus. Alright, looks very similar to other soft start kits. I don't have any of the wires capped off or anything. And this one pretty much gives you the wiring instructions on it, but again, we're going to see if there's any instructions included in here, because right now I don't see any. I see double-sided tape, I see a couple zip ties, I see a couple splices. These are kind of cool types of splices. Kind of a quick connect. And the instructions were in the box. They were underneath the foam. So this should guide us through everything we need to do to get this thing installed. So first we're going to need to get the lid off. The lid off should be pretty easy. It's usually just removing all of the screws around the outer edge, maybe some on the back. All right, now we're going to see if we can lift the cover off. There were no screws on the front. You just had a couple little tabs that you had to slide out of some spots. Okay, so next we need to identify where we're going to mount it, and I am going to surmise that probably the best spot to mount it would be right here, only because it kind of gives you access to everything. Try to find the capacitor, which is probably under there. Let's see here. Yeah, so your capacitor is going to be underneath here. It's actually really nice and neat under here. You see a lot of the underside of RV ACs, and they're usually kind of sloppy, but this one's really, really nicely laid out. Just got to figure out how to take this cap off of here. Seems like it's sliding up slowly. Okay, there we go. So that's our capacitor right here, and I'm going to figure out how we wire into this thing, because I have not, again, installed a soft start on one of these ACs before. So according to the instructions, this one wires up a little different than what I've seen on some other ones I've worked with. I like the fact that it has dual fans right here. This is kind of cool. But what I'm seeing here is that you're supposed to locate the compressor, which is right here, and on the top of it, it shows the wires going into the control board right there, and they tell you to cut the 3 wires right here, and then you're simply going to splice this into those 3 wires. So the colors on the soft start kit should match the colors on in the bundle right there. So basically it's just going to pass through into it, and this is where our wires are coming in. These are where our wires are going out. So the supply is going to be this right here, and this is going to be the compressor. So make sure I'm getting that correct on here. Okay, so I'm not an AC technician, and this is definitely something that I'm trying to be careful about, because I want to be sure I do it correctly and I don't want to cause problems. So some of this is kind of confusing, and I'm sure AC technicians out there or people who do this a bunch would probably say this is super simple, but this is a challenge I'm running into. The instructions on here show a red, blue, and black wire. And on the bottom of the soft start, there's also, or at least going in and out of the soft start, is a red, blue, and black wire. Now, these wires are labeled RN, CN, and SN. But when you look at the wires coming from the compressor into the control board, you'll see that they are different colors. They are red, blue, and yellow. So the picture that they give you inside the instruction manual here for this turbo soft start kit shows the wires coming from the compressor being in the same colors as the wires that go into the soft start kit, which is not the case. So what I was able to do on the lid to the control board, it's actually showing me my wire codes. It's showing me red is C, yellow is S, and blue is R. And again, this is probably super simple for you AC techs out there. So it's basically identifying that the yellow wire here is going to connect to the S wire here, which would be the red wire. The blue wire, which is the, I'm sorry, let me get that backwards. S wire is, yeah, yellow, blue wire is R. So it's going to connect to this wire. The blue and blue are correct. And then the red wire is C, which is going to connect to the black wire. And again, we're going from the control board to the soft start out to the compressor. So this is a little bit different than some. I know some you just simply plug into the capacitor. It's a little bit simpler. This one you actually splice in place. And I'm going to cut the zip tie right here. That's holding the bundle together, so I can free up this bundle right here. And this bundle right here is the one that I want to cut into, so I can actually get to the wires that I need. And they should be pretty easy to access once I cut into this sheathing right here. Use a little razor knife to carefully cut into it. And once we're through, we can see the wires we're trying to access. This is what I call video courage, because I typically don't like doing this kind of stuff, but because I'm making a video about it, I'm more willing to take some risks than I might normally take if this isn't something I was doing for you all. Alright, so I have my red, blue, and yellow wires now exposed. It says I need to cut them, so I'm going to cut them without thinking, because sometimes when you think, you scare yourself and you don't do what you need to do. So I got all 3 wires cut, and now I'm going to strip these wires off, and I'm going to put my connectors that were included in the bag on. That way I can go ahead and make sure that the connectors aren't going to touch each other, and we'll be in a good position to install the rest. Again, I love these connectors. I don't necessarily believe they're weather tight, but they do work pretty well. So the next thing I'm going to do is start stripping some wires. And as I strip the wire, I'll put it inside of a connector. That way there's no chance I'm going to accidentally short out anything. Oh, but these are cool, so I just found out that I can slide these apart from each other. Makes life a little bit easier. Alright. Make sure that they're all in tight. Okay, these are all in here now, so now I just need to do the same from the compressor side. Okay, these should also slide into each other, which is pretty cool. I did not know that they did that. These also do the same thing. Definitely makes it look a little cleaner and keeps them all together. Very cool. Now we're going to simply open up this end, open up this end. You can buy these things on Amazon all day long. I got tons of them. So it was really nice to see that this soft start kit came with it. And I don't believe this soft start kit is actually from the same people that make the air conditioning unit. This is just the one that they provided. I didn't ask for it, they just sent it, which is nice. And again, yeah, this is the Turbo brand. Alright, so what we want to check out now is we want to match our colors. So we know that blue is R. So we're going to go ahead and put our blue connection in. And this is in from the control board. And then we're moving from the control board to the compressor, and it's marked here. So supply to compressor. And then C is going to be red. and red, which is S, is going to be yellow. That's where things can get kind of confusing if you're not careful. All right, so again, just double checking everything. C is red, S is yellow. So C right here is red, S right here is yellow, and R is blue. So we're going to do the same thing over here. So we know blue is blue, so we'll go in there, and then we know that black is red right here, and we know that red is yellow right here. So S out is yellow. Okay, so we have it connected. They now match, kind of in reverse of each other. I'm going to start where I didn't cut it. I'll start bundling it all up. So we are connected now. I can reassemble some of this stuff. I'm just going to close what was in there, and then once it's all in, I'm going to just try to reroute everything in a clean way to the outside of this space. We got 3M tape right here, 2 pieces of it. And again, I still think I want this to live right there. That way, well, still not going to let me see what's going on with this board. I think I might be able to. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's probably the better idea. Now, if they moved the sticker originally to say, like right here, or even down on the bottom, that would be better. But yeah, just put it right here. There we go. Again, let's wipe off this area right here. Alright, so this is out to the compressor, and that's into the box. Let's mount this right here. Okay, so that's mounted nice and well. Take another zip tie. I'm going to put it right here, and that will just keep everything bundled so it can't work its way loose. Right there. It'll keep this harness from bouncing around as much, which is kind of the goal. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of show you a close-up of how I have this thing ran. Everything's connected now from the control box through the soft start into the compressor now. So we should be in pretty dang good shape to move forward from here. Just double checking everything here to make sure that we are wired up correctly and nothing's wired up backwards. Okay, so we have it tilted upright real quick. I have all the screws put back in, and the reason why we're doing this is because we need to put this seal on the bottom, and the seal is critically important because it's what seals it to the top of the RV to prevent water from getting in. So you can see we have some cables here. I'm not going to leave it tilted up like this too long. This is just so you could kind of get a visual. When they shipped these, it was actually shipped upright, so I've had it sitting for quite a while in normal orientation. It will continue to sit like that for a while. But this seal is going to rest right here so you can get to the 4 mounting bolts that you'll need to secure it to when you get to the inside of the RV, which again, we're not going to be doing in this video. So the main part here is that this seal will eventually rest right here, and that's where we're going to install it. All right. Next, we are going to take the sticky side off. So the foam side, which will compress against the roof, will be available to us. I know there's a lot of videos that go over installing stuff. I try to be a little different in terms of the steps. I always think about, well, maybe I'll just do the whole thing, then I'll voice over the install with small clips, but I feel this is probably the route most people would want to go. And this is going to hug the 14-inch opening of your roof. So you're going to want to kind of center it here. Sorry, we got wind blowing everything around right now. Okay. Okay, so next video featuring this AC will be the installation of it on top of the Brookstone. It will be replacing the Coleman that's at the very front of the RV. It is a ducted unit, but we're going to be going to a non-ducted AC here so we can have direct control over our bedroom and leave the other two AC units up there, the Furrion Chill Cube and the other Coleman, to managing the living room, the mid-bunk, and the kitchen. So I think we're going to be in really good shape with this, and this is going to give us a lot of capability, especially because it has the heat pump built into it. But we're not going to be installing it in this video. Just wanted to get it prepped, go over the specs of it, go over the details, and hopefully you're going to stay tuned so you can watch the actual installation when we get this thing in place. Anyways, sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we will talk to you again very soon.